Hello, everybody, and welcome to this here reading, this here investigation. So, as you can see on the title, it says, "What does God want us to know about relationships?" Because we're getting it wrong. Okay, let's be absolutely honest. Just like damn near everything else when it comes to life and existence, we're getting relationships very wrong. Okay, we don't know how to take care of our health. We don't know how to take care when it comes to our diet, that is. We don't know how to take care of our bodies when it gets sick. We don't know how to take care of the planet. We don't know how to handle partnerships with the opposite sex. So today we're gonna look at what does God want us to know when it comes to handling partnerships with the opposite sex: boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Okay, people who actually value having a partnership with the opposite sex and are into having families with them and building businesses with them, being in it long term. Okay, we want to know what God wants to tell us because we're getting it too wrong. So that's what this here investigation is about. So, Most High, what's the first thing you want us to know about relationships? Man to woman, woman to man relationships, love partnerships that include sex. Because usually when the sex get in there, everything goes kaput. Everything falls down. So we want to know about relationships. So that we can have sex and still be like great friends and business partners. And the cheating thing need to stop or slow down rampantly. Mm? We don't like it. Men don't like it and women don't like it. But we keep doing it. And then we bypass so many people in our lifetimes that we can actually build solid partnerships with. People that would actually help us to be a success in this game called life. Because in this game called life, you need a support system. If you can't find one, then it's good alone, but you actually need a support system. It's better because man was not made to live alone, and neither was woman made to be alone. But we can't get along. You're a little bit too loud, I think. Let's turn you down a tiny bit. Yes. When I bought oh, you can't even see it. I like to have it in the shot. My little where's my finger? I'm trying to point on that. Yes, my water fountain. When I bought it, it was very silent, but I wanted to make nice. So I had to add a straw to it, and then it started splashing all over the place. So I put stones in there to stop the splashing from, But anyway, it was a bit loud just now. So, yeah, it's actually meant to be a visual, but I was like, waterfalls are supposed to make noise, okay? So I need you to speak. Okay. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. So, Most High, you know what it is that I'm here trying to help myself and other people to understand when it comes to relationships with the opposite sex, long term, successful, healthy relationships that include a friendship with the opposite sex. Okay, we're not just here to clean their houses and have sex with them and all these things. We want to be friends as well as lovers as well as partners. So give us the information that we need so that we can start going about creating this reality. Please and thank you. What's the first thing you want to tell us about that? two more times. Oh guys, I'm making I'm cooking like curry goat. I'm cooking goat for the first time in my life, so I have my alarm set, so when it goes bling bling bling, then I gotta go check it and come back. So at the bottom of the deck we have embrace your power. Now that's the first step, because doing these readings I've realized that a lot of the time when people are not standing in their own power, God allows things to fall apart. So when you're in a relationship, the first thing you need to realize is you have power, male and female. I know we grew up in a society where they teach us about the man must be the head of the household. No disrespect to the man, but the man does not always have the best idea. What happens when you're paired up with a man who is poor at money management, who is poor at taking care of the children, you know, who is just a poor decision maker, but you love him for one reason or the other? Are you going to allow your household to be run by somebody who is only going to run it into the ground? Okay? Because when money comes into the house, instead of using it for what it should be used for, he's going to use it, let's say, for buying video games or um, investing in businesses that he has no desire to actually put that effort into maintaining. You see what I'm saying? So in a relationship, the first thing you have to do is embrace your power. Now, who should be the head of the household? It switches from time to time. Whoever got the best idea, because you're a team. Whoever has the best idea should be running things in that moment. Okay? So if that means that one sex end up having great ideas more than the other, it's not for you guys to start fighting with each other just because you now feel jealous or you feel belittled. Listen, your brain isn't working right, and if I allow you to drive this car or steer the ship, if I allow you to steer this relationship, you're going to steer us into the ground. We're not investing our time and our lives into just running shit into the ground. Okay, so all this man need to be the head of the household or woman need to be the head of the household, that shit needs to stop. The head of the household is the better idea in each moment, because you are a team and you're here to win. It's not a power struggle, right? You need to put your egos in check. Both of you supposed to be the head, both of you supposed to also be submissive. There's a time for each characteristic to come forward. Okay, let's see. Exactly. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have face your adversities. Okay, and the card that come out is just one. Speak up. I'm gonna get messages from about 3 decks because we need help. But the first thing is to speak up. So this thing about women must be seen and not heard, that has been annihilated. God says otherwise. Embrace your power, it goes for both sexes. Speak up, it goes for both sexes. I need to go check on my pot. I'll be right back. So my curry goat smell good, but the meat is chewy. I don't know what I did wrong. I didn't pressure cook it though, so that could possibly be what went wrong. Yeah. Nobody taught me how to cook. I'm working it out. But anyway, that's my problem to solve. Yeah. So 10 more minutes. All right. So speaking up. Now, when it comes to speaking up, number one, obviously, you have to watch your tone. Okay? The way that you speak to somebody you love is very different to the way that you speak to somebody you hate. So if you know you love the person that you're with, don't speak to them as if you hate them. Even if they make you upset, love doesn't do that. And the reason why face your adversities at the bottom of the deck is because there is always going to be a difference of opinion. There's always going to be a challenge, a problem to solve. That's your adversity. If you're working together as a team, then you need to give your input. The man and the woman need to give your input. And whoever has the better idea, you weigh the thing and you work with the best idea. That's how you win. But speak up. Just because you're a woman, it doesn't mean that you're foolish. And just because you're a man, that doesn't mean that you're foolish either. You are all created with wisdom. We have to learn how to communicate respectfully with each other. And we need to learn how to respect each other's opinions. And come up with a conclusion in a mature way. That's how you start to make a successful relationship. Don't talk to me like I'm a fool. Okay, so we got face your adversities. And then we have do what you love. And claim your art. Now, face your adversities. Solve the challenges. Do what you love. What do you love? You need to love the right things, because the next card that's coming is claim your art. What is art? Art is something that you create. So it's like if you do what you love, whatever you create from that, then you need to claim that shit. So if you love talking to your partner as if they're a child and they fire back at you, then you need to claim that shit, because you are doing what you love. So you need to make sure that what you love is the right thing in the first place. So you need to be careful about doing what you love. What you love may not always be the right thing to do. It may not always be the best way forward. Because whatever comes out of you doing what you love, you're going to need to take responsibility for it. Action and reaction. And grieve your losses. Let it go. Sometimes we're going to get it wrong. Let it go. And move on. Because the next thing is coming is make a plan. So if your ego got bruised or whatever, just let that shit go. Don't hold on to it. Fair enough, it hurts you for a while, but how long are you going to hold on to a bruised ego for? What is that? What is that helping? What is that doing to your relationship? Because the longer you hold on to a bruised ego, male or female, is the longer you're going to deal with your partner in a way that make it look like you don't love them. So let it go. Grieve your losses and let that shit go and start making plans to make the right moves. This is a wake-up call. Say no to the nonsense and reassess. Laugh at your demons. Let the nonsense go. Okay? So that's the first message. And become a clear channel. So there's that speaking again. So becoming a clear channel when you're speaking up, like I said, choose your words carefully. If you make a mistake, know how to say that you didn't mean it in that way. Okay? Recognize when you and your partner are saying the same things in two different ways, because that happens a lot of the time. Sometimes you're saying the same thing, but because you're using different words, it's coming off like you're saying something different to each other, and that make you guys go back and forth, back and forth. So you have to learn how to become a clear channel. Say what you mean what you say, and say it how you know it should be said. If somebody is your partner, do you want to treat them like they are beneath you? No. Because let's say one of you gets sick. The whole point of a relationship is that you support each other in the good times and the bad times. So if you get sick, do you want somebody who you've been treating like shit to be the one to take care of you? How willing will a person that you've treated like shit be to take care of you when you're sick? They might use that as the opportunity to do some madness to you. You see, love begets love, hate begets hate. Careful of what you're putting out. And live your soul, not a role. So what does that mean? That means be true. Don't be who you think society says you should be. Don't play the role that you believe society said you should play. Relationships are not a one size fits all. They're not black and white. Relationships are many, many shades of gray. So you have to decide with the one that you're with what a successful and healthy relationship look like for you. And also be willing to morph when you've grown. Because sometimes what's okay for us today, we may not be cool with in a couple years from now. Sometimes maybe even the person that you're with, you're not cool with in a couple years from now. You should know when to let go if that's what it takes. Without it having to be a big argument or some scandalous games, and that don't make any sense because you're burning bridges that way. And who knows, you may get together today, 10 years from now you feel like, okay, this relationship has run its course, but then 20 years from now you guys may become perfect again because you've morphed so much so that your energies match each other again. But if you burn that bridge at 10 years, then what do you think you're gonna get in 20 years? It's gonna be hard to get your foot back in that door. And being with someone that you're familiar with is a great and freeing feeling. Being with someone new is a kind of uptight kind of vibes. Let's be honest. Okay? So God wants us to make no judgments. This card comes out to tell us that we need to allow people to have their truth. That's why I said as well that you may grow apart. At some point you may grow apart. Let it go. Because you may grow together again. You know what I'm saying? But when you're letting it go, do not do it like irrational people. Okay? When you're letting go of a relationship, let it go with respect. Do not burn bridges. Because even if you don't get back together with that person, you may have to deal with that person in the future. You may walk into some office building, or you may get sick and go to the hospital and you see that same person. Be careful of the karma that you're putting out into the world. And because I did this so long, I'm going to get one more deck instead of two more. Because I don't want to keep you guys too much. Any other... What's the next important message you have for us, please, when it comes to having sensible and successful relationships? What do you want to tell us? What can you teach us from my decks here? I need to go check my pot again. I'll be right back. It's getting soft. So let's see. What else does God want to teach us about having successful, healthy, long-lasting relationships with the opposite sex? Building our families and legacies with them. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to see what he would do before dating with another man. I was flirting with you just to see what he would do. Ooh. Okay, so we got the Queen of Summer. It says, listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others. Perhaps too much. Okay. Then we have the Lovers, true love that is long lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health. And then we have, let me put them this way. Go away. Then we have the Ace of Winter. It says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Nice. And this message is very important because we need to realize that when you get to a tough spot in a relationship, it doesn't mean that it's time to quit. It means you got issues to fix. And there's always a way to fix an issue. Okay? But it takes you having the right frame of mind. So like you can't allow your ego to be driving in the car or allow your ego to be steering the ship. Okay? You have to humble yourself. All right? A lot of people quit when things become hard in a relationship. If one person lose their job, you dump them. If one person not having sex with you right, you dump them or you cheat on them. God says you need to communicate clearly and accurately, okay? When your person lose his or her job, it's not time to dump them. It's time for you to hold down the fort while they look for something else, because a mature person is not going to allow you to be doing that stuff on your own. Now, if one person is out working and the next one is holding down things in the home, Listen, taking care of a home, especially when you have children in it, is not an easy task. Okay? So, looking at people who become house husbands or housewives, like if they don't have nothing to do, that's nonsense. Children are a very big responsibility. And just as a project for you to understand the other person's how the other person has it, I think that if you're a housewife, you should allow your husband to play the role of housewife for about 4 days straight, 4 or 5 days straight, so that he can get a taste of what you do at home. And if you're a house husband, allow her to take over that role for 4 or 5 days straight, so that she can see what you do. A home has to be maintained, it has to be kept clean, and especially when you have children, they need to be fed, they need to be bathed, they need to be, you need to spend emotional time with them as well. You need to monitor their playing. You need to make sure that when you don't hear them, you go check on them. If they get sick, you need to be there, being the doctor to them. If they're fighting, you need to become the judge and the lawyer, fixing that problem before the children grow up hating one another because of one incident. That is hard work. Everything that everybody do is hard work. Just know that. But if you want to make sure, switch roles for a couple of days and see. And if you feel like your man work easy just because he go out and drive a bumper clock bus, you need to go drive that bus for a couple of days and see what that's like. With your foot cramp up like that for hours on end. Yes, your bottom stuck in that seat for hours. Just because it's a sit down job don't mean it's an easy job. Your eyes have to always be vigilant of people crossing the street, cars swerving where they're not supposed to swerve, animals crossing the street. You have to always listen. Nobody has it easy. When you get to a challenge in your relationship, it's not time to quit on each other. It's time to understand each other, sympathize with each other, and find ways to fix the problem so that you could continue over that hump and be strong still. Teach your children the right ways. The next set of cards we have, release. It said let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. And then we have the Princess of Winter. It says information that can help you but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness. I hope you guys can see. The lighting in here is kind of funny. But these are two very important things to know. Letting go of the past. Now, for me personally, I could tell you that if something happens, okay, put yourself in the other person's shoes. Let's say your partner did something. Would you be willing to just let it go just like that? Obviously not. So why should we expect our partner to just let go of things once we've fallen from grace? You need to address it. What made you do that? What did you do? With whom? Where? And when? How did you make me feel? All these things need to be spoken about. And how you're gonna proceed into the future. All these things need to be spoken about. And then you can let go of the past. Once that has been taken care of and you have solved all them issues, then you should and your partner should just let go of the past. Because if you've already dealt with the matter and you've already gone over the hump, then bringing it back up, it's like you're being tried in a case for something. You're found guilty, you serve your time, and then they want to bring you in again to try you again, to find you guilty again, to make you serve more time. You've already done your time. What's that about? That's not fair. It's the same thing in relationships. So before you can let go of things, you need to first deal with them. Once you deal with them and you decide, yeah, I still love you, I still want to move forward with you, then you need to let that shit go for real. Don't bring it back up when it suits you. Because that is not a way to build a relationship. That is a way to destroy it. That's not fair. That's not mature either. So yeah, so the information is the information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness. So like I said, once you've spoken the truth, once you've handled the situation, then you can move on. And see, it says speaking the truth with kindness. So if you know you went out there and you did something that you know you weren't supposed to do, it's not for you to sugarcoat the issue and try to make it look less damaging than it actually is. Nobody's gonna like that. Put yourself in your other person's shoes. If they go out and they do something and they come back in and it pissed you off, but now they want to pose it to you as if it's not a big deal. Talk for yourself. It's a big deal to me. And nobody's gonna like someone discrediting how they feel. That's not a formula for a healthy relationship. My feelings matter. Treat them like they matter. Man and woman. And the last thing we have is time to take action. The power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. So this is the moving on part, the Empress card. So once all that is done, then it's time to take action. So if someone did something that was damaging to the partnership, you need to face it and then you make moves. The power of creativity is like, how are we going to move forward from this? What's your suggestion? I'm still mad. Me still vex. But I'm willing to let it go. Because you're good outweigh your bad. But don't think that this is going to be the case every time. If you don't want me to do it to you, don't do it to me. It's hard to swallow your pride and say some shit like that, you know, when someone has hurt you. But if you love somebody that much and you feel like they deserve another chance, you will do it. So yeah, success that allows for a life of luxury. So once you've gone over the hump and you have made your way forward and you know how you're going to go forward, it's for you guys to keep your commitments. You said blah, blah, blah. I expect you to blah, blah, blah. Don't play no tricks with nobody. The underlying issue here is plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations, gratitude for the blessings of life. Every relationship goes through struggles. Every relationship goes through struggles. But there's always a way forward. If you truly love the one that you're with, you're going to try to find the way forward. If both of you love each other, you're both going to put in that effort to find the way forward. Out of this 9 of winter energy. So you're going to replace the 9 of winter energy with the Ace of summer. That's what we want. But there are going to be times like this. The 9 of winter card says, unfounded fear, focusing on the worst case scenarios. It says focusing on the worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. A lot of us live in this state in a relationship almost every day. When your man or woman leave the house, oh shit, what is he or she doing? You phone them and they don't answer, oh shit, what is he or she doing? You text them and they take too long to answer, oh shit, what is he doing? You call them and their phone off, oh shit. We constantly in this state. And that is not healthy for anybody. We have to do better. What we want is this. It says, open your heart to love, the beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one. The awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. This is what we want. We want to be able to open our heart to love. And we want to have a rebirth of the current one if it's not good enough. Because I've chosen you and you've chosen me. So if we truly have chosen each other, what make you think that you don't have to put in the work that it takes to keep me? Eh? Choosing me is only the beginning. Me choosing you is just the beginning. Now how do we keep it together? And not just keep it together in the physical, but keep it together in the spiritual and the emotional as well. Because I'm not going to be with someone that I feel miserable around, or I'm constantly wondering, oh, is he or she cheating on me now? You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of growing up. Relationships, healthy relationships take a lot of maturity. And I shouldn't even say mature. Well, yeah, it does take maturity, but what it is monogamy and polygamy. If you know you're with someone who is a monogamist, do not bring no polygamist mindset in the relationship. No, they're not okay with you cheating. No, they're not okay with you sharing yourself with anybody else. It's not okay. If you want to be able to have this person and have that person and that person too, then you need to practice polygamy, and you need to make it clear at the beginning of the relationship that that's what you're into, so that the person that you're trying to get involved with can decide if they want to play that game or not. And if they decide after trying it that they don't want to do it anymore, you need to let them go, or else there will forever be friction. Monogamists are supposed to get together and polygamists are supposed to get together. And it look like most people are polygamists. Let them be together so that they could be sleeping with this person and that person in peace. But y'all need to leave the monogamous people alone so that they can find people who are on the same wavelength as them. Leave them to be available to people who are on the same wavelength as them. Don't go find a monogamous man or woman and then you just steady cheating on them every day or every week is some new person joining your joining in your energy. You're having sex with that person and coming home and sharing that with your person. Not everybody's cool with that, and we need to respect monogamy and polygamy for what they are. Most men are polygamists, and some women nowadays days they're polygamists too. Live your polygamist life and leave the monogamous people alone. Right. Or else we're going to have issues. So, that's what God wants to tell us. I hope that you found the information helpful. And I do wish us all the very best going forward with our relationships. We need to, soulmate energy. Let's find our person and let's have some stability in our emotional life. You know what I'm saying? And our mental life. You shouldn't have to be worrying about what your partner doing and whatnot when they want to come and tell you, oh, I love you. Why doesn't it feel like love if you love me? It's because it's not love. Sometimes we just need to scrap the whole thing and start over, people. Good luck. Bye-bye.